From her time on the raunchy and risque The Box to Sons and Daughters, The Sullivans and even Home and Away, Belinda Giblin has without a doubt cemented herself as a part of Australia's acting royalty.
But now she's stepping away from the telly to head back to the stage, playing a real-life scientist whose Nobel Prize-winning work was controversially stolen in the 60s. And Belinda Giblin joins us now. Nice to see you. Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. We'll talk about this new production in a minute, but first, can we have a look back at your incredible career? Out of all of the shows that we've just mentioned then, which is the one that you're most recognised for, do you think?
Depends what demographic we're talking about, to be perfectly honest, because I've been going for around 40 years, you know, and I started in black and white on a Matlock, Division 4 Homicide, The Sullivans, The Box, Bluey, Cop Shop, all of those shows, and and if you're old enough, you remember me from those shows, and then I meet another demographic who remember me from Sons and Daughters. Then another demographic who remember me from Home and Away. So, you know, depends who I'm talking to, basically. And the fact is, I'm still alive and I'm still acting, and that's what I'm very happy about.
Well, let's go back to Sons and Daughters, because you played the new Pat the Rat after Rowena Wallace had plastic surgery at the time. Belinda, did you think that the storyline was a little bit ridiculous?
Yes, but hilariously funny and good fun, and, you know, we got away with that sort of thing then, and I think it's amazing what people buy and how quickly they adapt to the idea. A little bit like my going back into Summer Bay last year on Home and Away. I've been on the show 3 times as 3 different characters, and here I am as a whole new character. But people forget, you know, and nobody remembers me from those outings. So it was lovely to go back and do a stint, and possibly another stint coming up.
Well, can you tell us a little bit more? I know there's probably a lot of things that are under wraps, but being such an iconic drama, it's obviously fantastic to be back. What can you tell us?
Well, when I came back last year, I was Alf's very first wife, who was there before the show actually started, so you never met her. She died through a drowning accident. But last year I miraculously came back, and
there's a chance for Harold Holt yet.
I don't want to even go there, conspiracy theories and all. But yes, she comes back, and it was great. Borderline personality disorder. I wasn't too good, but it's just such a great show, and honestly, I absolutely loved doing TV again, because I've done mainly theatre in the last couple of decades. Well, no, 15 years or so.
Well, speaking of theatre, you're in a new production. Tell us about this. Tell us about your role.
It's difficult to even talk about. It's a play about radio astronomy and astrophysics, and if you love science, this is a fabulous play, because it's about the world of science versus the world of arts and poetry, and it's about individualism versus group and teamwork, and I play an astrophysicist around Jocelyn Bell Burnell, who was the woman who discovered the first radio pulsar, and who was deprived of her Nobel Prize by one of her male colleagues.
Because he stole her work, right?
He didn't steal her work, he just accepted the Nobel Prize for having done it, and she's just won all sorts of prizes, still alive today, still wonderful, but her great desire was to create much more interest and to draw attention to science in general and the gender disparity, the fact that there are so few women in science. Right. And a woman has just won the Nobel Prize for laser, for a laser discovery, so it's after 55 years, because it's very male-oriented.
Did you get all method in the preparation for this role and start reading Stephen Hawking and all of that sort of stuff?
And you know, can I just say, this play is about science, but it's won all sorts of international awards, by the way. This is the first time it's been done here. And if you love science, it's exciting, it's thrilling to watch. I know it sounds dry and you have to be a science boffin, but it's...
Well,
It's absolutely
What if you don't love
fascinating.
science? Can you still enjoy
You
it?
would absolutely follow it. It's the young actress who plays the young PhD student who's just made a miraculous discovery, and the same thing, history has repeated itself, has now facing what Jocelyn Bell Burnell faced back then. She makes this so clear, it's thrilling to watch, honestly. Four actors. I'm going to mention them because I always get accused of never mentioning anyone else. Christopher Stollery, Tim Walter, Gabrielle Scawthorne, directed by Nadia Tass, who is a great film and television and theatre director. So,
well, it's on at the Seymour
wonderful.
Centre in Sydney, which is quite close to the Sydney University. So I'm assuming you might get plenty of students coming down to come and
Well, I
watch
hope
this
so.
science
I hope,
play.
and anybody who,
Yeah.
you know, because it's for the GP as well.
It's
Good
wonderful.
stuff. Thank you very
Yeah,
much, Belinda.
my pleasure.
Belinda's play is called Ear to the Edge of Time, and it is playing at the Seymour Centre. For ticket details, please head across to the Daily Edition website.
That's right.